There's times that I battle envy, but I'm like, no. God is teaching me how to be grateful. This whole time, bro. God knows I want an Aventador, bro. God knows what I'm going to do with that. God knows I'm going to pull up to hospitals and see kids and put the doors up and make them smile. God knows what I'm going to do when I hop on jets and I go all over the world to be able to bless cities that need money for their art projects. Like he knows that, right? But what's interesting is that, like,
listen. All right. The energy here is amazing.
So the welfare, then the very last line is, the welfare of the city will determine your welfare.
Yeah.
And when I read that, I was like, that was it. Like that, I'm sitting here complaining, bro. And I'm blessed, bro. Artist of the Year 2 years in a row. Like, I'm trying to go for 3-peat. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go for 3-peat right now. And so I'm sitting here complaining about that. And I'm like, I'm done complaining, bro. Like, I'm about to cry right now on the show.
Yeah.
I'm done complaining. I'm like, if wifey don't come till I'm 55, that's cool, bro, because that's what God needs from me, man.
Manifesting that, right?
Yeah. But it's like, I'm done complaining, bro.
Yeah.
So, like, that's part of the reason I'm here. Like, Dan, bro, he talks highly of you guys. It's amazing.
Likewise. Everybody that I run into is speaking super highly of you. And it's like, I was literally right next to you, and I'm like, yo, I see you in your element. And that's why I didn't want to disturb. I'm like, yo, this guy you're special, kid. For real. Like, seeing you in the element of painting and worshiping, I was like, there's something different here.
Yeah.
And I personally believe that's why you've gotten this far. Even through the trials and tribulations. I'm about to go deep on it.
Let's go, man. Let's sit down. Let's do it.
We are live, my brother. We're just going to have a conversation, then I'll get into my intro and stuff like that. I want to make sure that you're not nervous because this is your home.
yeah,
This is the compound. Where we have good conversations and give people value.
Yeah.
I'm big on giving people value. And I see your social media, and it's big on value. Like, you show who you are without filtering it. And there's something that you posted maybe a couple of weeks ago, and it was something around people use social media platform as a platform to show their 15 seconds of perfection or 15 seconds of their highlight reels.
Yeah.
But you use it in a sense to give people value and show who you are, show the good, the bad, the indifferent.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's interesting. So I've always been an expressive person, man. Like, always. And I think, people like me, I think social media was like made for people like me, because I'm just expressive in the fact that, like, I'm okay sharing my heart, and that comes from, although I'm 38, that goes all the way back to high school. Actually, before that goes all the way back to elementary school, right? And the trauma that you get from getting picked, made fun of, and kind of being this person for a season of your life, or maybe even all of your life. But for me, it definitely was a season of my life where I was overweight, picked on, had the glasses, and it was just this weird thing. Even as an adult, you look back on that and you're like, it's interesting, like, how in life people can just pick something up, like, oh, you wear glasses. Like, what does that even matter, right? But because of some of that trauma and some of the things that I dealt with emotionally as a kid, when I kind of started coming into my own with art and becoming expressive in art in like the privacy of my own home, in my own room, my mom, she would just let me draw all over everything. I didn't get in trouble for that. So I was drawing on walls. I was drawing on the fan blades of, I would unscrew them, draw on the fan blades of my fan, my desk, the blinds. Like, I would take the blinds off real carefully so I didn't break it. I'd take each blind off and I would draw on each blind. So when you would open and close it, it would just do all this crazy stuff. And that was like 13-year-old EJ. You fast forward it. So I'm gonna deep dive, right? So I'm the kid that I would watch, like, Michael Jackson music videos and be like, man, this is crazy. Like, this is a movie. Like, this is Thriller. This is bad. You know, like this is black and white. And like when you watch those, bro, when you watch those, right? When this is EJ, right? This is teenage EJ watching.
So sorry to cut you off. We have to edify like who's EJ, right? EJ Nieves.
Yeah.
To me, you're very known, you're very popular here. You are an artist, you are a creator, you are a great human being. I haven't met you personally. This is the first time, but I've been in proximity.
Yeah.
Right? I know a lot of people that you know, and I always hear good things about you. Right? So I invited you here, and we kind of have like a live audience. So I just want to say, how you feeling, brother?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. You know, like I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling blessed because I'm finally coming to a place, and we got a chance to talk about this beforehand, before we press record. I'm finally at a place where like I'm grateful. The past, I would say, in Ocala, like we are in Ocala, Florida.
Yes,
you know?
sir.
For people that don't know, we in Ocala, Florida. You know, and it's one of those things where people might know us for the horses, right? Or they might know us for particular things. But being here, it's a small town. It's a smaller town. I spent almost 20 years in Orlando. But like being here, I'm finally at a place where I was able to kind of be stripped away from like all the busyness and all the noise of like in Orlando, of a bigger city that literally is just so transient, which there's good and bad to it. But I'm finally at a place where I'm grateful, man. Like I'm grateful and I'm happy and I know that I'm blessed. So like who you're looking at right now is a person that like it took a long time. My 20s were wild in here. Not wild like I was clubbing and being with a whole bunch of girls. And no. It was wild in here, as in like I couldn't tame it. It was like a wild horse, literally. Like it was like a wild horse that you just couldn't tame. And
do you think it's because you're an artist and you see things in color and you put so much information in your brain that it's hard to dissect what really matters, and that's probably why you wasn't grateful?
Yes. And really, this all goes full circle, even back to what we were originally talking about, because I am creative and like, and I say that proud. Like I don't say that arrogantly. God has given everybody their gifts. I'm not good at math. I see numbers and they swirl in my head. You know what I'm saying? That's why I have an accountant. I don't, so I am proud to tell you, I'm proud to say on this podcast, like I am creative. Like I am creative. Everybody is a genius in their own right. Facts. So I will say I am a creative genius. You know what I'm saying? Because like everybody is a genius in their own right. You could be a genius with finances. You could be a genius with real estate. We got realtors in the house today. You know? So like creative wise, there's a genius to that. And so like, but I've finally been able to tap into that and say, look at myself in the mirror and say, I am a creative genius. This is who I am. I'm proud of who I am, who God created me to be. God bless my mother. Like I'm proud. Like she tells me she's proud of me, so it's like, I'm happy with who I am now, finally, but I'm 38 and that comes with a story.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to know about that story.
Yeah.
Welcome to Deafine Podcast. Every week we invite interesting guests and we talk about defining moments and what defines them. We kind of went through like a whole thing. We started the conversation already, so I'm just going to continue from there.
Yeah.
So what was your story like? What was that defining moment when you realized like, this is who I am. This is who God created.
Yeah.
I just have to be grateful with the tools that I have and the people that I have around me, because you seem to have like this. Was there something that you went through that caused you not to be grateful, not to be happy and joyful, to be here, to be present?
Yeah.
Was there something that changed that? Something that made you realize like, well, this is who I am. I am creative, but I do have flaws.
Yeah. I've been in Ocala we're going on 3 years. And
Ocala.
Interestingly enough, I've actually just recently tapped into the biggest aha moment of my life. So I was homeless about a year ago. Kind of everything gets kind of blurry for me in Ocala just because so much has happened, good and bad. But I've been in Ocala for almost 3 years. About a year of that, 6 months to a year, I was homeless. And it was just a course of events that was happening that, my finances dwindled, and it was wild. Like, it just, life happens. Sometimes life kind of hits you sideways, and you kind of just are reactive. So for me, when life hit me the way that it did, it hit me financially, slew of medical bills and things like that, and I just couldn't catch up. My car got repossessed. I didn't have a place to stay. I was living out of the back of my studio here in Ocala, like the one that I still have. And I was sleeping on a futon, taking showers with baby wipes in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Some friends would let me come over every now and then, take a shower and stuff, but for the most part, showers in the bathroom with baby wipes. And this was crazy because it was during the pandemic. And I know a lot of people, there's a lot of people that have a pandemic story, like a coming to Jesus moment, this is life right now moment.
Here we call it defining moments.
What's up?
Here we call it defining moments.
Yeah.
Is that the defining moment that you...
So, that was my defining moment. It's the pandemic. The whole world stopped. Ocala, Florida stopped. Like, literally. So at the time I had a gallery. I had a gallery, still have it. Then I was a resident artist at the Max, and it's an old train station that they turned into like studio spaces. During that time, I was the only one in there, and I would quarantine there for days and days. I would they'd be like, "Are you sleeping here?" I'd be like, "No, I'm not sleeping here." Sorry, guys. I was sleeping there. I had a cot, like a military cot, that I would sleep on, and it was during that season where it was just me and the canvas that I had available. Anytime that I would sell something, it was just this, like I was living off of my art. There was never any other time in my life where the selling of a piece of art determined if I was going to eat. I had never had that. And I'm gonna just be real, like I'm gonna be 100. Like I didn't have to be homeless because my mom was on the other end of the phone being like, "Baby, like come home." But I'm like, "Mom, like I'm positioned in a way right now that like this is what I got. This is what I'm gonna work with." So did I choose homelessness? Yes, I did. Did I choose it? Yes, I did. I did do that because if I would have went back home, God bless where my mom's from, or where my mom lives rather, because she's from Puerto Rico, but where my mom lives right now, and out of respect for the city, like it's a dying city. It is. Like you go there to retire and that's it. It's a little beach town. That wasn't, I knew in my heart of hearts, that's not my trajectory. I'm willing to go homeless for the trajectory that I know that God has put within my mind, my heart of hearts. So I'm going to stay in Ocala. I'm still centralized. Do I have a car? No, I do not. If I need to get to Orlando, I'll figure it out. I can walk places, bike places, whatever. At the time, I had a couple homeboys that would, kind of help me here and there. But that, and then we'll get into Daniel Gray's in the house today. We'll get into that. Because
shout out to my guy.
I say homeboys, but I'm not talking about Daniel Gray. Daniel Gray's the ace.
Oh, okay.
When I say homeboys, I have some boys that was like, "Yo, I got you. I'll take you here. I'll take you to the grocery store. I'll take you to Walmart." Boom. No. But then, enter Daniel Gray. That's a whole different other, chapter. But so this is a season where I'm homeless and all this stuff. And so that was my defining moment because I had never in my life had to support myself solely off of the art, knowing that if I didn't sell or if I didn't do well, then I wasn't going to be able to live. I mean, I was going to have to figure something else
out. But that's the interesting thing about that. It's fascinating that your brain works like that because that's the it factor. And when you say everybody has a genius in them, is that it factor.
Yeah.
You're willing to sacrifice it all because of your dreams and what you believe in. And fast forward, you were homeless for 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
And look how fast you was able to grow. You won 2 awards for best artist of the city.
Yeah.
You have murals, like monumental murals all over the city. You create with some of the great creators here in Ocala, and you're like an ambassador for the city. So we need that. But it was that story that you're saying right now that prepared you for the moment that you're in right now.
Yeah.
And that's what's powerful, and that's what's going to lead you to the next level, because you're able to be who you are all the time, and what you believe in ultimately becomes your life.
Yeah.
And you surround yourself around other successful people that have that mindset. So what is life now, right? That you was able to get over that hump, because you have all this passion and conviction in you that wants to grow, not only for yourself but the people around you. And Ocala, like the first conversation we had is like, yo, we gotta grow Ocala type.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm connected with that, and that's why I'm super excited to have you on the platform. Not because everybody around me is like, yo, you gotta meet this guy. You gotta meet this guy. And me moving here, I've been here for about 3 years. I came here and I was like, what the hell am I doing? Anytime I wanted to do something, I would have to leave the city.
Yeah.
You know, but then I said, that has to change.
Yeah.
Right? And if I wanted to change, I have to be that change.
Let's go.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to meet my partner now that has the same vision. Like, bro, let's do it together. Not only me and him, but all of us.
Yeah.
When we put we in the conversation, everything changes, brother.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so you and I are. I think it's interesting. We're kind of like the same person, different body. Same trajectory, but different kind of formats.
Exactly.
I've been here for 3 years. Same for me. When I would get into that thought frame of like, leaving or what have you, I think about when I was in my 20s. I was at a gas station and with a homie of mine, and I was just sitting there complaining. This was back in my 20s, so I was just complaining about something crazy. And he looked me dead in the face and was like, "If you're complaining anything in life that you complain that much about, you're the change of it. Then, like you're the one responsible for it, or at least you're part of the responsibility of fixing it or changing it or bringing it to life. Because if you're saying that it's missing, if you're saying that it doesn't exist, if you're saying that it's broken, if you're saying that it can be elevated, if nobody else is doing it, then you're the one with the passion within it to do it." And I always think about that moment, and that was like a decade ago. I think it was like a Shell gas station in the middle of Kissimmee, and it was just this wild moment. And so I resonate with that, because when I'm here in Ocala, it's kind of the same thing that I feel that I felt in Orlando. Only Orlando is different because it is already established. It has its culture, like they have their particular soundtrack, if you will. Orlando Magic's there. You got Mickey Mouse there. Their downtown is growing. It's expansive. All these roadways is very transient. You got UCF. It already has a fabric. The fabric has already been woven. You're kind of just, you're adding your filament. You're adding your fiber to the fabric, right? Mm-hmm. Ocala is different, though. And I'll say this respectfully. I don't mean to be disrespectful, and I know some people might find this disrespectful when I say this.
Talk your shit, brother. Talk your shit.
But Ocala has not designated its arts and culture yet. They have not. Not yet.
Why is that? Why do you think so?
I don't have the exact answer for that. But I think that we have been for the 3 years that I've been here, I realized that right now the bigger concern is business, right? Bringing jobs, whether they're warehouse jobs, and I think that's amazing. And then also the equine, right? So the horse industry. But I think that as a city, I think we're so dialed into that we are completely missing out on a grand opportunity to literally weave the fabric of arts and culture here. And again, I say this respectfully for the Riley Center and for all these places that are doing things. They are. But there are still gaps and holes, because I love the villages more than anybody else does. But if we're only catering to a particular demographic, then where are we going to go with this? When we have late 20-year-olds, early 30s, late 30s, early 40s, we're ready to party. We're ready to have a good time. We're ready to be entertained with what we are interested in as well, whether that's rock, country, rap, whether that's an experiential thing downtown. you know? And I say this respectfully, but I've been waiting for the proper platform to say this, and I believe this is the one because you're allowing me time to let people hear my heart. Because I don't say this to spit in the face of a bar owner. I don't say this to spit in the face of the Riley Center. I don't say this to spit in the face of anybody. I say this as in, it's time for us now, CEP. Like, it's time for us now, Riley Center. It's time for us now, City of Ocala, to understand that, like, arts and culture, it's time for, we need to be able to bring people together that are interested in everything. Not just what the Villages is doing, not just what a particular demographic is doing or a particular ethnicity is doing or a particular social economic status is doing, right? It's time now to say, hey, you like rap music? Cool. How can we bring rap concerts here? How does that look like? A country concert, how does that look like, right? And I know, and I'm happy for WEC because WEC is starting to do that. World Equestrian, they're starting to do that. Venues like Ocala Comic Con, they're starting to do that. See, and those are the things that make me happy, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, they're bringing culture here, bro. Like Ocala Comic Con, it's coming in September. Like everybody, shout out to Ocala Comic Con. Everybody need to go to that.
Yeah, facts.
Why do we need to support that? Because that's our MegaCon. Right? MegaCon is huge. They bring in 120,000 people this year. They brought in 120,000 people this year to Orlando. I met people from all over the United States, bro, that flew, drove, freaking whatever, boat, to get to Orlando.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
Why do you take the responsibility? Why do you put yourself at the forefront and put Ocala on your back?
Because I'm realizing there's only a couple people that are going to do it, man. And I know that's bold to say. I'm just going to say it. That's bold to say. But there's only a couple people out here that are willing to take the arrows for arts and culture. And I'm ready. Like, if that's me saying, yo, shoot at me, then that's what I'm saying on this podcast then.
Yes.
Because I've been saying this from the jump. Like, grow Ocala. You know how many people, when the hotel opened, I'll never forget this. I will never, ever forget this. When the Hilton was almost done, and they put the lights on for the first time. I'm about to cry. They put the lights on for the first time at the Hilton downtown. I thought it was the most beautiful thing. I took a picture. Pow. Put it on Facebook. Bruh, they came after me, bro. Oh, my God. The Hilton, they should have never built that. That's destroying our downtown. Why did you post this picture? Bro, that was one of the first times living in Ocala that I had ever received any kind of like pushback from something that I honestly thought, I honestly thought, this is amazing. Like, do we not realize what this hotel's about to bring to our city? Like, more people are going to be able to drive in, fly in, whatever, stay at the Hilton downtown, chill, eat at Harry's, go to the Tipsy Skipper, watch a show at the Riley Center. But yet there's people that are against a hotel being built downtown. Again, so I say that because I know there is a large community that does not want Ocala to grow. So I know that in any regard, because I know that there's business people out there that feel this, right? With the construction of all these warehouses, there's like Facebook pages that are against this. So I know that there's particular sections of Ocala with people that have been here for a long time and have a lot of money that don't want it to change. But I'm here to say I want it to change. I'm here to say I am an advocate for progression. I'm here to say hashtag Grow Ocala.
I'm here with you, my brother.
Grow Ocala's gonna happen.
Exactly.
And the funny thing is it's going to happen whether people like it or not.
Exactly.
And that sounds mad disrespectful, but
that's
the
evolution of life. It's about changing and progressing and evolving.
Yeah.
As a community, I think some of the people, and don't quote me, some of the people that are against it are more focused on local, right? Support local, do this local. And when they see these big, massive conglomerate companies like the Hilton come in, they're like, well, you're taking away from the local hotel that's up the block from there. So they get scared, they get nervous. But they don't realize is that's what's going to perpetuate and pivot other businesses when we have celebrities coming here because they want to hang out.
Exactly. And I didn't want to interrupt you, but this right here, again, and every now and then you're going to see me shout out my boy Dan. So in Pixelum. So that's what we're trying to do with Pixel.
We're going to talk about.
That's what we're trying to do with Pixel, right? Because
that's what we're going to do.
This is what needs to happen. We need to fortify local businesses, right? Because here's the thing. Everybody wants to get upset about a Walmart coming in, about a Target coming in, about an Amazon warehouse coming in. People want to get upset about that, right? And that's a lot of energy being expounded on trying to tear something down. Bruh, take that energy. Take that Facebook page with 10,000 people saying they don't want Ocala to grow and tell them to go to, oh my gosh, Grandpa Joe's Candy Shop. I'm probably saying it wrong, sorry. Tell them to go to Tipsy Skipper. Tell them to go to Brick City Kitchen. Tell them to go here. Like, take that energy, that negativity, and build up the local community. Because if we do that, they won't go anywhere, right? We got Mellow Mushroom coming downtown. I'm super excited about that, right? But it's like, again, Mellow Mushroom's gonna pop out, bro. They're gonna have a patio bar, homie. Where else in Ocala do we have a patio bar? You know what kind of vibe that's gonna be?
Super vibe.
Nobody has been able to see that kind of view except for like the Loft. So if you've ever gone to the Loft, I'm not really a clubber anymore like that, right? But every now and then, want to dance, I'll go to the Loft.
Yeah.
But the Loft, when you're out there vibing, the music's going, you take a moment and just look out the window. You're like, wow, look at our square. Look at again, how are we going to appreciate things if we don't progress and build things to appreciate it? So on top of Mellow Mushroom, there's going to be a patio bar that we're going to be able to be up there, sipping our Moscow Mule, our little chill, whatever, have a slice of pizza, whatever we're going to do up there, and enjoy our city. Same thing at the Terrace, bro. When you're at the Terrace, before the Terrace was built, tell me that view ain't lovely.
Yeah. That's
a lovely view, bro. I'm up there chilling,
Yeah.
Like, that's a lovely view. Light Up Ocala, again. Light Up Ocala. You would have never been able to enjoy a view of Light Up Ocala like you do from the Terrace. If you haven't done that, like, Light Up Ocala this year, I encourage you to go to the Terrace, even if you get a glass of water with your family at the Terrace during Light Up Ocala. It is the most magical thing.
It is.
Like, it's magical. My homeboy, Dan got engaged there, bro. Took pictures of him and his lady. It's magical.
Yeah.
Like, but then again, you have people that, oh man, I'm upset that the Hilton is here, man. Oh my God, it took away. They didn't build it in brick because this is Brick City. It's crazy stuff that people will take energy to do that with.
That's the entitlement mindset, the microwave mindset.
Yeah.
And we're gonna pivot. We're gonna pivot to something else. I'm so happy that we have somebody like you that is willing to take that. Is willing to be the punching bag so Ocala can grow. Because ultimately that's what it is, right? Until we cast the vision, until we create something that everybody can participate in and not feel left out. Even though we are pivoting, we're going up.
Yeah.
We want to bring everybody with us. I'm never been the type of person to focus on the negativity, right? You can stay where you're at and we'll build over here eventually to create that belief system that you also can be with us.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to create here.
Yeah.
With creators like you and Dan and everybody that's in this room. It's just like, why won't we just collaborate and push the envelope forward so we can get our message across?
Yeah.
And you've been at the forefront, like with your artistry. That is incredible what you're doing. Cantina, downtown. Yeah. You did that. I went with my son about a few weeks ago, and I'm like, yo, this guy is talented. Your vision is somewhere else. So I wanted to ask this question: do you think being in Ocala is going to hinder the growth of what you could potentially come because of the people and how they think here and not having access to what you may have access to, like in New York, Miami, California, where most artists, actors, creators, YouTubers go to pivot and grow and collaborate with other like-minded individuals? You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah. So, and this is it's cool because a question like that, bro, you about to we about to unlock some doors, bro.
Let's go.
It's like in the video games, you got a master key that opens like 7 doors. You just did that. So here we go. So here's the thing. I'm now at a place. Again, this is kind of like one of the key elements to where my heart's at now. It's taking time for me to get here, but I'm now ready to be like, no, this is home base, bro. Like, this is home base. because social media, because of the power of social media. No longer, I'll start off with this, no longer do we need to be planted. You could plant wherever you want to plant, right? That's cool. You can, I have dreams one day of having a mountainside ranch in Montana. The show Yellowstone didn't help that because I'll be daydreaming about Montana now. But you can plant anywhere you want to, man. Anywhere you want, okay? That's first. But the power of social media, and now as we are engaging into the metaverse, the power of all of this technology is making it to where you don't necessarily have to be planted in a big city to be around situations that are going to help you grow. Now, yes, it will always help, right? Because to be in the everyday of New York, to be in the everyday of LA, to be in the everyday of Chicago, of course it's gonna help you. But and I take this, I am a mixture. We were joking a little bit about Grant Cardone. I am, when you want to talk about like social media influencers, OGs, like I am a mixture between Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, and Jim Rohn. That's who I am.
I think that's why we connect. I feel like I connected even before you got onto this platform, before we had a conversation, is because those are the people that I'm constantly looking at and trying to emulate.
Yeah. Like, for example, Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is huge on Herbalife. And I know everybody, this is not an endorsement for Herbalife, but like, he was a huge speaker for Herbalife, but the thing is, it's interesting how you can listen to his YouTube and you can listen to those things, his speeches and his talks and his conferences, and he doesn't even bring up Herbalife at all. But the whole time at the end of the conference, it was a Herbalife conference for most of it, right? But I'm a mixture of those three. So like understanding the qualities that I like of each one, Gary Vee is big on, like, empathy. If you want to make $37,000 a year, but you're doing what you love, and you live in a studio apartment, but you wake up every day and you love your life, you've won. You won. Don't let society make you think that a milli is the end goal. Now, I want to be a millionaire. I will be a millionaire because I know what I will do with that money. I know what I'm going to do with that money. It's going to be amplified of what I'm doing now. I mentor kids. I'm building galleries to represent artists. What you think millionaire status is going to do, bro? I'm going to have galleries all over the world. I'm going to be mentoring children in Italy. I'm going to be mentoring kids in Puerto Rico. Like, that's what that money's going to do. But it's like, my heart of hearts, though, I take away the best pieces that I love of my favorite influencers, OGs. And Gary Vee always said, bro, like, you don't need to be uber rich. You just have to tap into what it is that you love to do, figure out how to monetize that. If you love peanut butter, you better start you a peanut butter blog and get sponsored by Jif.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
Because you love peanut butter and you eat peanut butter 27 times a day. Then if peanut butter is your life, figure out a way to make a life
monetize it.
Monetize it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I know I kind of went off tangent, but ultimately for me, like that's where I'm at with that. Like I'm living a life that like I love this. So I don't have to be uber rich as long as I wake up and love what I do, and I love what I do.
Mm-hmm. So what about Grant Cardone? What do you like about Grant Cardone?
He a hustler, boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He a shark, like.
Yeah.
And I like that. Because I'm a shark. I'm a shark. I don't play. You're not gonna waste my time.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I don't take every lunch. I don't answer every DM.
Yeah.
And that's not me being mean. My time is valuable. And Grant Cardone, when I hear him talk and how he moves, like when you watch some of his YouTube videos and how he moves on his daily, even how he interacts with his wife, bro. They don't play games. They don't waste time.
Yeah.
Every moment is valuable. And I'm so grateful that I'm around a circle, and my circle's small, like Drake said, so small as a period. Mm-hmm. Like, my circle's small. We don't waste each other's time. No offense to people that do this, because I know that there's hobbies and all this type of stuff. I'm not the one to, like, call on the phone and talk to for, like, 2.5 hours about, like, a random thing.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to talk about, rocks or, like a river for, like, 45 minutes. I'm cool talking about like a toy or a movie for like 7 minutes. Cool. I'll watch a movie with you. Cool. But usually I'm around a crew that if we like watch a movie, Like after the movie, we'll talk about Jurassic World for like 5 minutes, and then boom, we talking about some like, yo, bro, so this business I'm starting.
Yeah.
We don't sit there and talk about, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I say again, I know
No,
some
I'm
people
the same way.
Some
I'm the
people gonna
same
take this
exact way,
disrespectful, and I'll take the arrows. I'll take the arrows. But I'm not the one. And I know there's people like me and you. I'm not the one. We're not the ones that are gonna be like, yo, let's talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Like every hour, like I'm at a place now where I know what my hour's worth.
Yeah.
You're not gonna waste my time.
Exactly.
And if you're gonna waste my time, cool, pay me.
Yeah.
For real.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Does so we're gonna transition
Yeah,
again.
yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So Ness, what is that? That's your brand, right?
Yeah.
What is it? What does it stand for the people in the back that don't, follow you on social media and stuff like that?
So Ness stands for No Eye Has Seen. Is based off of 1 Corinthians 2:9 in the Bible. For no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has imagined what God has in store for those that love him.
Ooh.
So I'll give you a very brief, as brief as I can. So in college, going into my early adulthood in my 20s, I was big on like everybody gonna have my name, Nieves. Everybody's gonna have I had a clothing line, Nieves, across the chest, Nieves. My name is gonna be in lights, Nieves. Bruh. One day, I kid you no lie, one day I woke up, it was like my inspiration was gone. My drive to paint was gone, to create was gone. I went through the most craziest creative block I had ever gone through in my life. I was probably like 25, 26. And anything that I did, anything that I watched, it didn't draw inspiration. It didn't draw inspiration. Months and months and months went by, man. It was crazy. And then one day, I'm like, I got to get back to the Bible, man. I got to get back to God. I got to get back to church. I got to get back to basics. Just for me. This wasn't even like for art or nothing. I just got to get back to basics. And then I stumbled upon 1 Corinthians 2:9. No eye has seen. After I read that, when I read that scripture, it was like God audibly spoke to me and was like, I need you to create things that no eyes have ever seen before. So, if you want it back, you go by Ness now. You don't go by Nieves. Again, I battled for months because I wanted my name, bro. It wasn't easy. It wasn't just overnight like, yeah, God, I got you, bro. I'm going to be Ness.
Do you think is that was an ego thing or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because, again, the fabric of EJ Nieves kind of tapping into some of this stuff too. I grew up with hip hop, bro. Like I grew up reading GQ magazine. It was always like, I was always inputting almost like this is the life that I want. This is what I need. This is what I have to be happy. Hip hop culture like took over my life, like how I talked, how I walked, how I dressed, how I thought. And I know hip hop has evolved and has grown and you kind of, eat the meat, spit the bone. And as I grew up and matured, I realized, okay, man, like life isn't all about money and girls and clubbing and this. And, of course, when you're younger, if nobody's helping guide you through that, you can get lost in the sauce, bro, easy with hip hop music. Easy.
Yeah.
So I got lost in the sauce and it messed with me all through college. And I was already having insecurity issues. So, of course, I'm sitting here, some of my faves, bro, Biggie, Nas, like Jay-Z.
You
like,
on it.
Like you're listening to those lyrics and they're hustlers, like they hustling. So my mind state and, everything was about hustle and drive. But I wasn't able to eat the meat, spit the bone because now I listen to Jay-Z music, bro. And it's like, again, it's hustle music, but I take what I need. I don't live by it, but it's like, bro, that one line gets me through the day. Or I do that with Drake music a lot too. Like that one verse is like, bro, that's it. Maybe everything else ain't, but that one verse, that's it. And so, but yeah.
So there's value there. So
yeah,
there's a lot of kids. This is time for value. We're gonna give them value. There's a lot of kids that's looking at social media.
Yes.
That's listening to these artists talk about things that we don't want our kids to live up to.
Yeah.
but they believe it just like you did. And they get to a point where they get lost because it doesn't become their reality, right? They don't have the money, they don't have the girls, they're not living this lavish lifestyle. And also, it's doing the opposite. Most rappers now are talking about drugs, killing, and stuff like that. So it's manipulating these kids. How would you able to get out of that funk and be like, well, I can dissect it and pick what I like and choose and kind of emulate into that my life, but not everything works for me.
For me, and of course, this is different across the board for everybody else. And I'm not sitting here, preaching or nothing. I ain't no pastor or nothing like that. But for me, it was God. For me, it was tapping in to who I know I am, who I was created to be. When I read the Bible, I believe it to be true. When God speaks to me, it might not be audible voice, but he speaks to my heart, and he speaks to me through people around me all the time. And so for me, it was in those 20s, right? That when I finally had that moment, I had the moment with God. He told me, Ness or nah, and he told me that, and I kept going thinking I could do my own thing. And it was funny because for a while, I still tried to paint something and paint, do the letter N, because it was it could be Nieves or it could be Ness. And then God was like, nah.
That's your alter ego.
That's the alter ego. Yeah. God was like, nah, I know what you're doing. So I would just sign my paintings N, right? Yeah. Thinking I'm tricking God. Anyway, so it wasn't until I started signing my paintings. And I kid you no lie, bro. I was like, fine, I'm going to do it. And I did it reluctantly. I'm going to do it. Ness. That's when I got tapped into. I ran into my homegirl Bianca and her husband at a Walmart one day. And she was like, I want to introduce you to something called MegaCon. And I was like, MegaCon? I went to MegaCon. I would go with some bros of mine from the church in Orlando. And MegaCon, for anybody that doesn't know, MegaCon is a huge comic convention. It brings about 100,000 people in 3 to 4 days. It's like a spectacular event. People sell artwork there, comic-based artwork, cosplayers, stuff like that. I went to go see her booth. I saw this woman, no joke, make $500. She made $500 in 3 minutes. I was sitting behind her booth. And
this is before you became...
Yeah, okay. Well, this was in the midst, because when I said yes to Ness, it was like a door opened. So then, boom, a little bit later, I was reintroduced to Bianca. We used to go to college together in drawing class. Her and her husband were at Walmart. I randomly bumped into them. So it was during the season that God was introducing me to okay, cool. So you say yes to Ness, boom, I'm going to give you an opportunity to show Ness to hundreds of thousands of people. And so I did. I went there for fun. I hung out with her behind her booth for a little bit, watched literal cash transactions, bro. People buying her artwork. I want this one. I want that one. I want this one. And just money, bro. And not that it's about money, but I had never seen anything like that. And that just opened my eyes to a whole different world of what it can be for art. And then boom, that's when it took off. So yeah, so that was, that was my time when I was like, okay, God, I'm giving this to you. I gave it to him. And that's when I was able to start picking apart music and lifestyle things and, relationships and friendships and, girls that I was interested in. All of that stuff started going through the filter of God. All right, God, is she the one? No.
So let's talk about that. You single, and I see you post about it every once in a while. You're like, yo, I'm looking for the right one. What is the right one?
Man, she loves Jesus, bro.
Yeah.
The right one. And again, this is everybody different, but for me, she loves Jesus, bro. She loves Jesus and she loves like Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And I think, and everybody, everybody walking this life with God and stuff, this is, because I deal with that too, where it's I love God, but sometimes it's hard for me to love people like God, like how God would love a person. And so, I think for me, the top two things is she loves Jesus and she loves like Jesus, because if she loves like Jesus, then Jesus is a supporter, is a comforter, is a person that is there, is by your side, is loyal. And man, I tell you, it's hard to find that these days, bro. Yeah. It's mean in them streets.
you out here. I'm on the same page, but I'm building I'm looking to build a legacy. I want to help as so many people, and I feel because I do believe in God, is the right one will come. Yeah, right? I just got to give myself enough time, because for so long I was dependent on like women. I needed that validation, and always have to have a woman besides me that would fill in that void, until I took enough time by myself to realize everything that I need is in me already.
Yeah, boy, you bad, boy. You a bad one, boy.
I appreciate you. Yeah. So we on the same tip. But I do want to do this. I want to switch things up a little bit. I do have more questions, but we have a live audience here, so I want to bring some of them up that may have a question, so we can further the discussion. How does that sound?
That sounds good, man.
Yeah. So Dan, would you like to jump on the podcast real quick? Yeah. Just jump in real quick. Ask a question. Actually, come right here. Yeah. Come over here. Ask a question. This is your brother right here. You came onto the platform a few weeks ago, and you spoke highly of him. So this is the guy you was like speaking. This is your brother, bro. He wants to protect you. He wants to uplift you, empower you. And the relationship that you guys have, like, it's inspiring to me. And that's kind of what I'm building with my guy, Andrew and my guy Johnny. Yeah. So yeah, speak to him.
So I would say
move in.
I would say that we speak a lot. Like we talk almost every single day. Yep. I am the one that gets the 2-hour conversations, but those are geared at life-changing iron. When I ever say the statement, iron sharpens iron, this is my iron right here. So I don't have a question for you. I have a compliment for you, because it may be hard for you to say. Sometimes it's hard for me to love like God, but I promise you love like God. You show so many people so much. You give them light. You give them fire to keep going. I'm sitting over here in this room right now to hear the fire that you got, and I've already written down 3 quotes that I will not use on my own. I saved them for you. But I want to commend you for the journey that you've been on, because it hasn't been easy. There's been rough moments. What I want to know is, during that journey, what was your roughest moment? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, everybody sees all the glitz and glam, but they don't know the how hard that has been. What was your lowest moment, so that someone out there can relate to you? And how did you fight through it? How did you come out of that?
Thank you, Dan Lambo Dan. Woo, that was deep. See, you guys have that relationship, so he can pull it out of you. So this is another time of just adding value. Do you feel comfortable going that far?
Yeah. So for me, I've always, it has to go back to when I was homeless. So for me, I've always had like an exit plan, or like out. Like, there was always like a back door. Like, oh man, it's coming. I'm gonna go through the back door. Or they coming. I'm gonna go through the back door. Mm. And for me, it was like, it sounds like silly, but it's just real life. So I have been driving my car like hot for a while, and I'm not proud to say this. I was driving my car hot, so like I didn't have like insurance or nothing. I wasn't paying insurance. I wasn't paying nothing. And I know that's like super irresponsible, and I'm putting myself out there.
He's riding dirty.
I was riding dirty. And so I was like, okay, cool, man. Like, I'm good. Like, in my mind, I'm like, man, I'm good. Like, I got time. Like, I got time to get myself right. Again, this is a life lesson. I had a Hyundai Tucson that I bought off the showroom floor at a time in my life where it was like sports package, everything. Like, I didn't have the money to buy this thing, but I was like, man, I want to look the part. I want to look the part. And I know it's just a Hyundai, but it was like one of the nicest Hyundais that was on the showroom floor. Anyway, grabbed that. Now, it was the moment when, in my mind, I thought I had a lot more time to ride dirty. Okay, I got a car. I can get around. I can move and shake, do what I got to do. and my birthday came, and at the closer it came to my birthday, I realized that my tag was gonna be expired. And I wasn't thinking about that the whole time. The whole time I wasn't thinking about my tag. The whole time I was like, man, I'm Gucci. Like, I've been riding dirty for a while. I can keep riding dirty or whatever. But when the closer my birthday came and I started just doing some research on what can happen if, they find you or whatever, all that kind of stuff. When my tag was about to expire, like, I realized I couldn't drive it anymore. And so my tag expired, and it was at that moment, like, I realized, like, this is it. Like, that was the lowest, because I had always had a vehicle before then. Like, I always had a way out. I always had a way to just get in a car and do what I had to do. And like, this is a great question, Dan. Like, I've never really like expounded on this. Like this, I've always had a way to move around, and I've never ever been in a position in my life. And we're talking that I was 37. I had never been in a position in my life where I had to say, how am I going to get here? Like, even to like Walmart, like somewhere a 5-minute drive, which is technically like maybe like a 30-minute walk, right? And so it was at that moment that I realized this is real. Like, I'm homeless and I have no vehicle, because if I get caught with no tag and all this up, like, I'm done. They're going to put me in the paddy wagon. I'm done.
People, and so it's funny you say it that way, because people don't know what that means.
Yeah, and it's funny. I got that from the movies, because I don't even know where it came from.
It's in New York.
Yeah. So like, it's only people think I'm from New York, but like, I'm not. I'm from here. Well, I'm from like, whatever, Florida. But that was my moment. Like, that was my moment. The moment that I realized, like, hey, it's done. Like, I'm homeless. I have no vehicle. I called up the insurance company or whatever. I said, hey, because they have been looking for me. Like, they've been looking for my car. The thing is, the address was locked to the address was locked in Orlando.
Okay,
and so they had a tow truck driving around my old apartment complex for months and months and months looking for me. And all along I was in Ocala. Sorry guys, but I finally was like, you know what, the jig is up, bro. Let me just call them. And they scooped my car up. And it was at that moment. And the thing is, I had a friend. I couldn't even watch my car get towed. I gave a key to a friend. He was the one that had my car towed. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they came to pick it up, I was like, I can't even watch it get towed away. It's too much. And so it was that moment. That was like the lowest of low, because I knew, like, this is real, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if I allow myself to continue down this path, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah. You are somewhat a visionary. You have to be, because you're an artist. Did you see yourself being here at this very moment? Were you manifesting at a time where you were at your lowest moments to say, I'm going to get over this? This is a part of the process. With your mindset like that, were you able to see over what was right in front of you?
I always told myself, and this is also, I always told myself, as long as I can pay for my cell phone, I'm going to figure this out. So
that's going to go over a lot of people's heads.
Yes.
So let's elaborate on that.
I told myself everything could be gone, okay? Everything. But as long as I have my phone, I can document my homelessness. Because ultimately, when I think about it, like, when I think, and this is the truest, like, this is crazy. That's who I am, man. Like, I was created to document life, because that was my reasoning. I didn't care about a house. I didn't care about a car. I didn't care about anything. At the time, I was kind of dating a girl that, even when I was like homeless, she didn't care, which I thought was dope, but whatever. That didn't work out. He laughing because he knows who it is. He knows who it is. But I was dating shorty. She didn't care I was homeless, whatever. But I said, as long as I have my phone, my iPhone at the time, it was like a X or whatever. As long as I have my phone.
I can't believe that was so recent. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm just like, how life works.
I know, but and let's just get into this. I know let's just, if you don't mind taking this turn real fast with me.
Yeah, sure.
That's the power of who you're around, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's the power. You are the sum total of the closest. They say 5, and it's funny when I put that out on social media. People are like, "I only have 3 friends. I only have 2 friends." Whatever. It is the sum total of the people that you truly are around. So right now, everybody watching. You pull out your phone right now. You know the top 3 to 5 people that you talk to every day, even if it's your mom, because your mom could be toxic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hear me out. Your mom could be toxic. It's the top 5 people that you talk to. Whoever that is. It could be your auntie, aunt, wife, girlfriend, your mentor, your mentee, whatever. Some person you met, maybe a girl that you met at Target. Whatever. The top 5 people that you talk to on a regular basis, you are the sum total of that. And I'm going to go even further. You're the sum total of the salary that they have. You're the sum total of their mental stability that they have. You're the sum total of the relationship with God that they have. You're the sum total of those people. So when I was homeless, I was around people that were buying houses, selling houses, people that had financial stability, people that had relationships that were strong, that were married. Like the people that were in my life during me being homeless, I was not hanging around other homeless people. I was not going to the bar drinking my sorrows away. I was not calling somebody being like, woe is me. When I would call Dan, when he finally, because we haven't talked about this piece of the puzzle, but I'll share it now. So ultimately, Dan put 2 and 2 together that I was homeless because we would like rip and run. Yeah, Daniel Gray. So like, I was homeless for quite a while, 6, 7 months.
Even during the process of
Yeah, so we met. I was homeless when
So
we
he
met.
told the story that you asked to take a picture or video in front of his Lambo. Was
Yes.
that during the process of being homeless?
Yes. So that was a season where I was in a house. I got me and the landlord got into it or whatever. I was paying a certain amount that I was able to afford, whatever. Long story short, I got kicked out of his place, whatever. It was a whole mess. And then in the process of me being homeless and not having anywhere to be at in that whole transition process, and to enter Daniel Gray. So then boom, we kind of get to know each other. Then I'm homeless. Then we start hanging out, going to lunches or whatever. He's, taking me to like one-to-ones, taking me to CEP events. All the while I'm homeless. Okay.
Did that hurt your ego? Because you hanging around him and then you're like, this motherfucker got a Lambo. He's living a good life and I'm struggling.
I'm about to cry, right? That, again, God had to put me through that. God allowed me. He allowed me to become best friends with a dude that is building an Airbnb empire, has a Lamborghini. Like, I'm literally watching my homie. He met a girl, fell in love, is about to get married. Like, my bro is living the life that I desire. All the while, I'm like, and I'm human. There's times that I battle envy, but I'm like, no. God is teaching me how to be grateful. This whole time, bro. God knows I want an Aventador, bro. God knows what I'm going to do with that. God knows I'm going to pull up to hospitals and see kids and put the doors up and make them smile. God knows what I'm going to do when I hop on jets and I go all over the world to be able to bless cities that need money for their art projects. Like he knows that, right? But what's interesting is that, like, there's a part of me that had to be burned away, homie. It had to be burned away. My pride, my mom always told me this. I love my mom. My mom always told me this because as much as she loves me, she's my mom. And she'd be like, EJ, she said, EJcito. EJcito, your pride is going to keep you from everything you want. It's your pride. And I would always fight her, always, on that piece. Because my mom and I, bro, thick and thin. That's my ride or die, man. I'll die for my mom, bro. Heartbeat. But that was that one piece that every time we would get to that place, we'd always fight and bump heads because I knew she was right. I knew she was right. And this season of me being in Ocala, it still is. It's a battleground. God has been preparing me for the future here in Ocala. You know, like everything that I've gone through, from my homelessness to the opposition that I face at times with the art community here, to even my best friend having everything that I desire in my heart of hearts, it has all been a test of, even though people are hating on you, love them. Even though you're confused about this season of life, be grateful. Even though you see everybody around you getting blessed with what you know I have for you, I need you to be happy for them and be genuine about it. All the way down to my best friend, I fight sometimes. In those quiet nights, those quiet moments before I go to sleep. But it's because God has already told me, I have all of that for you. I'm just showing it to you. What are you gonna do? I'm not a dad yet. I pretend sometimes. I have this. I kind of play it out in my head. Like, if I was a dad, how would I like surprise my kids, or like figure out if they get excited for something? Okay, so what would I do? Like Christmas time coming, and you're like, man, okay, I don't really know what to get my little baby girl. I'm gonna take her to Target, and I'm gonna just like let my little girl gravitate to whatever my little girl wants. I'm not gonna buy it for her, but I want to see what excites her. And I see myself being a dad with my kids. I want kids with an S. And like, I see myself being a dad, letting, with rules and parameters, of course, but letting them kind of go wild in the kids section. All right, cool. Little baby EJ is in the Legos. Baby girl is over there by the, over here by the plushies or by the puzzles, because she like puzzles. Oh, Poppy, I like that. Oh, Poppy, look at this. Look how pretty it is. See? But in your mind, you're like, okay, I'm understanding what she wants. And I feel like that's what God's doing to me, bro. God literally put everything in front of me. He knows I love Grant Cardone. I literally am best friends with the Grant Cardones. Like, I can sit here and watch Grant Cardone all day long, but God's like, bro, like, you literally can call somebody that will answer your phone and teach you everything you want to know about real estate. Why aren't you talking to Dan? I love music. Andrew, like, we working on a musical project. That's kind of hush-hush, but I'll say it here. We're working on an EP called Memoirs. Like, literally, I could call Andrew on the phone anytime, bro. He pick up the phone. And again, I complain. We talked about this before we press record, right? But I complain about being in Ocala. Oh, God, am I really going to be here? Do I need to be here? It's a small town. I want to go somewhere big. I want to go to New York. I want to go to Cali. But it's like, I live in a city where, like, my wildest dreams are coming true, bro. I got a studio and a gallery, homie. A studio and a gallery and a store. People come, like, it's unreal. People come to my store and look at the wall and they be like, yo, I want that one, and I want that one, and I want that one. And they buy it and they leave. And they only came to, like, buy a piece, which is fine with me. Some people hit me up. Yo, can I schedule an appointment? I'd love to get to know you. Like, I want to buy some artwork. I want to commission you to do a piece. It's like, literally everything that I thought about, like, it's coming to pass. And for me, even at my lowest, like, I thought to myself, like, EJ, you got to hold on. Like, you got to hold on. This is what God told you. And even though right now I may not have the car and the house and the wife right now, bro, I'm wealthy, homie. I'm wealthy, bro. I got family. I can pick up the phone and be like, pray for me. God bless my mother, bro. I pray she outlive me, bro. I don't even want to talk about that. I call my mom, bro. My mom there. No matter what we've been through, my mom there. Even after my car got repoed, bro, God sent somebody down to bless me with a vehicle. The Nestmobile, bro, There is absolutely no way, man. Shout out Trevor, bro. You know who you are.
Shout out to him.
Shout out Trevor, bro. Like,
yo, wait. It took so much. I'm trying to process this. It took, and I'm pretty sure everybody here felt that. There was an energy shift that happened here. And I believe wholeheartedly that the person that you are is the reason you have gotten this far. When you talk about God and how you want all these things, he's building you and he's leading you that way. And sometimes you have to fall all the way down to actually see what's up there for you, brother.
Yeah.
And yo, I appreciate it. I just had to pause right there because the energy right now is just, it took everything out of me, just feeling that, because I feel that. I've been through a lot of shit in my life too, and it's like, sometimes people don't understand. You see where I'm at now, but it took so much out of me where I wanted to give up at times.
Yeah, man.
Give up, call it a day. But you know, God gives his strongest soldiers the biggest battles.
Oh yeah, bro. I had some dude legit, bro, want to take my life, bro. Right in front of my studio, bro. Like, I'll never forget that day. I went to Dan afterward, bro. I was like, I've never had this happen to me. Like,
physically take your life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Is that something you want to talk about?
I won't get into it too deep, man, but I'll just say this, like, you know, when God elevates, be prepared. Just always have your heart be alert. And what I mean by that is, like, I mean it in a way of, like, just always be prepared, on guard your heart. Just, it's not to live in fear. It's not. I'm not telling nobody right now. I'm not going to live. I'm not going to
be
live
aware of your surroundings
exactly. And that was who I was surrounded with. Because I remember when I told Dan that, right, the first thing he was like, bro, because I didn't. I know we're kind of all over the place, but he took me in. He found out I was homeless. He took me in. Right, I was sleeping on the couch. You know,
shout out to Dan.
Yeah, I mean, I love him for so many reasons, bro. But like, he don't ever go on no platform and be like, yeah, man, like I house EJ Nieves, like, you know, he was sleeping on my couch, bro. Like, he never do that. But like, that's a big part of the story because his brotherhood, like, revitalized me, bro. Like, his brotherhood, like, there were times I couldn't pay for rent, I couldn't pay for nothing. He would bless me with food, bless me with a place to stay. But all along, bro, always building me up. There was never a moment where Dan was like, hey, bro, like, can we talk? And like sit me down at the dining room table talking about like, hey, man, like, you know, I need some rent or something. Like, I could tell you straight face, there was never, ever a moment that ever happened. And what's crazy about that, when I think about that, and I've actually never talked to Dan about this, so it's a beautiful thing that I'm sharing this with you. He's in the room. Like, he never asked for nothing. Like, he never asked for nothing. Even when I started kind of coming up a little bit and, like, making some money, that's when I approached him and was like, hey, man, I know you let me stay here rent-free, all that. Like, I'm gonna try my best to like give you something every week or every other week or whatever, and then boom, then some hard times will fall again. But like he never came up to me and been like, hey bro, can we talk tonight? Like, you know, we gotta talk about rent, we gotta talk about money. Never. But it's like I think about all that, man. All of that is the makeup of my time here in Ocala, the homelessness and rising from that and even in the midst of that, and I want to share this, I'm going to share this because it's the reality, and this is why you have to try your best. It's not easy, but step number one, when you're in hard times, if you realize that you don't have a lot of people around you during hard times, to a certain degree, it is a little too late at that moment, right? So you battle through that, you have God, all that. But once you get out of that, and you're in a place where you're ready to love and receive love, it is supremely important to have people in your life that will build you up. It's supremely important because ultimately, like for me in my life, that's the only reason I got out of what I got out of. And that's the only reason, like, when I got Artist of the Year, Like, I was literally homeless when I got that. Nobody knew that. And I didn't tell people that in the article when they wrote it in Ocala style. But, like, people don't know that. When I was winning these awards and all, I was homeless. I didn't tell nobody that, though. Because it was nobody's business. It's like, you just have
But there's a battle there, right? Because as you're getting the validation and all the all these eyeballs, it's like, yo, there's something happening. But then behind closed doors, you're like, what am I going to eat next?
Exactly. And that to me is very powerful. It's profound because it shows you that you every day, whether you're awarded or not, every day is a new day. Every day is an opportunity to get it in and to work and to be a good steward, which is another pillar of what I learned here in Ocala, being a good steward of what you have, because it can all be taken from you, bro.
Yeah.
All of it. And so, like, yes, when I was in that season and I was in the trenches, it was tough, but I was like, you know what? One day, it's the hope. You know what I'm saying? The hope is another pillar. Like, without hope, it's interesting. Like, without hope, I don't even know where I would be, because I went with that for so long, and I still do. But, like, at my lowest of lows, the hope was like, one day I'm going to have enough followers on TikTok and Instagram to be able to pay my bills. One day I'm going to have the local support on Facebook and in my community to be able to support me so that I don't go homeless again. And where are we at now? There. But it was the hope. And I say this is matter of fact. This isn't me bragging. This isn't none of that. This is matter of fact. Like, if there's one thing that we should fight for, is hope. Hope within yourself. And in my case, as a believer in Christ, my hope that one day I see Jesus. I'm not here to preach to nobody, but that's me. That's my hope. I know what I have to do, the life that I have to adhere to and try. We're not perfect. But then after God, my hope is to like build a future. You know what I'm saying? To, like, again, going back to the scripture, to Jeremiah 29, when we talked a little bit earlier, Jeremiah 29, like 5-7, when it's talking about building and planting, and then ultimately, like, the welfare of the city is what you put into the city is what you get out of it. So the welfare of the city determines your welfare. So, like, that's where I'm at now. Finally, it's taken some time, but that's where I'm at. I'm gonna plant. You know, because I would say this for real. I'd be like, well, when I find my wife, I'm gonna plant. When I find my wife, I'm gonna buy a house. Nah, cool. I'm gonna buy the house. I'm gonna buy the house. I'm gonna plant. I'm gonna build the gallery. Because I would always say that when I get the money, when I get the wife, when I get the kid. You know what's crazy? Like, I want a daughter so bad, like a cute, like, artsy daughter. Guess what?
You already see it. The way you even describe it is like, you already have that vision of what life is gonna entail.
Yes.
Because you already painted it here.
Yeah. And I want to share with you something crazy. So, like, and I love her to death and her family, you know what I'm saying? So I pray that they watch it. So, like, I have a mentee. Her name's Talia. She's cute, bro. The cutest little girl in the world. She's one of my mentees. She's going to have an art show, everything. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's in kindergarten. And I take pictures beside her, and it's not like I'm like, yeah, that's my daughter. But I'm like, bro, like, I see it. Like, I see it. Like, this could be, like, how my daughter could be.
Yeah,
Like, bro, she wears dresses, and her clothes are covered in paint just like me. And, like, but again, you know, like, I see it, painting the picture in your mind and in your heart, you know? So you
crave it.
I crave it. And I used to say, when I get this. But guess what? God's like, nah, bro, you're good. Yes, you'll have it in my time. But guess what? You get to mentor Talia. And you might not have a daughter, but you can speak life into this really, you know, beautiful, inside and out, charismatic little kindergartner that all she wants to do is paint. You might not have a son yet, but you have a cousin that is 15 turning 16 and is, like, literally the most prolific, craziest digital artist I've ever met ever. This kid's a genius. And God's like, you can mentor him. You don't have a son yet, but why can't you love him like one? Why can't you love Talia like a daughter, right? And then why can't you be happy for Dan as he prepares to get married? Because wouldn't you want your best friend to be happy for you when you get married? These are all the life lessons that I'm learning. Wouldn't you want your best friend, or wouldn't you want your friend or whatever, like when you open the doors to a Lambo, that they're not jealous of you, but that they're happy to get in, that you guys are going to McDonald's in a Lambo. You know what I'm saying? Because we do that. And it's the coolest thing in the world. But yeah, so like I have it now.
Yeah.
And I'm finally realizing that, bro. All the things that I want, it's like I have it now. God's just showing me like my metaphorical kids in Target playing games.
Yeah.
And showing Papi what they want.
Yeah.
I know what I want.
Yeah. I think you already have everything that you want. Time just hasn't caught up.
I like that. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
For me, a long time, I was the same way. Like, when I get to this level, then I'll have this. Yep. When I get to that level, when we can be that level. Yeah. We can be anything we want to be at this very moment.
Bro,
and then put the action. Exactly. Yeah. And then put the action behind it, man. I'm big, like, on building things for the future. Like, I want to innovate and make change to help people. Like, that's my whole goal because of the things that I've been through. And I kind of get the same feel for you is you want to mentor people, you want to change people, you want to help people in a way that you may need it to be helped at one point.
Yeah.
And you have, bro. So listen, I'm super, super excited to, have you here and you be able to share some of your moments and some of your lessons. Is there anything that we're missing that we didn't cover? I think we can be here all day long.
Yeah. Not a question, but I want, like Jay would say, I just want to give you your flowers. A year ago, EJ and I met at a fire night through church, through Revo Church. And I was at my lowest low. I had just lost my job, making great money. I just moved to Florida. I was living my biggest life, and in an instant, it was gone. And I met you, and I saw something special about you. And I think you were just kind of getting out of the homelessness. Yeah. But I just want to share for the audience, like, how much I appreciate you. And we've just started to talk, but how quickly, I met you a year ago, and then we went and Wingstop opened, or it was supposed to open, and then it didn't, and I'm trying to get everybody there. And so we just end up at Mojo's with you, me, and Rico Suave out in the back. I just love you, bro.
I love you too, bro.
And I'm just excited for the future. Yeah. You teased it a little bit, but your Ness, but there's a second part to it.
Yeah.
And it's the no ear has heard. And I'm so excited for that second part. And we as creatives, we see things through a different lens. So you've got something, I've got something, but I'm obsessed with doing something together, because if I just make it for me, then it means nothing. Yeah. But if we create something together, then that's something special that nobody can take from us. And I see that with everybody in this room. Yeah. Not some, music for me, art for you, but this business, life design, we're pushing each other. Yeah. You mentioned it, iron. Everybody in this room, we're here for each other, and I'm excited that we're building that together, and you're a piece of it, and I just love you, man.
I love you too, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate this guy so much. It's crazy. I met Johnny and Andrew at the same time, and they became like my best friends. It's like there's nothing I won't do for these two guys. Yeah. And the way you explain, like Dan being so close to you and doing all these things, that's how I look at Johnny.
Let's go.
This is my brother. And you said something about having awareness, and that's what I tell him is like he wants to give to everybody. He has an open heart that he just wants to give, and it's cool. I love that. I'm the same way. I'm big on personal development, but I will smack the shit out of somebody. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's because you have to have that sense of awareness, and it's not because of ego and stuff like that. It's sometimes you create this level of momentum, and people look at you with a side eye and they want to take it. Am I on the right course with that?
You're on the right course,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So I told Johnny yesterday, I was like, yo, I love you, bro. Just make sure nothing's gonna happen as long as I'm around, because I don't play those type of games.
Yeah, and I think I'll say it this way. With elevation comes separation. And I saw that somebody posted that, I forgot who, but I saw that and it resonated with me because my word for this year is elevate. And I would just see it everywhere. Elevate this, elevate that. I went to my homeboy Josh.
Yo, I'm sorry to cut you off, man, but my word is momentum.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. The way you describe things is just like, yo, we living in a parallel.
Yeah. It's the multiverse, bro. We like Spider-Man, but just in a different, we both Spider-Man, bro. You just in a different multiverse, homie.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
I got you. But yeah, my word is elevate. Yeah. I've been seeing it everywhere, to the point where I even went to Elevation Church a couple weeks ago with the Voodoo family. Love y'all. But with elevation comes separation. And the best way to put it without delving too deep is that you just got to tend to your garden, bro.
Yeah.
And me, I'm very, if you know me well, you know that I purge and I tend to my garden heavily, like gardening day, like weeding day. I remember when I was growing up, my mom would always have me pull weeds. And it's funny how something that I did as a teenager kid resonates with me so heavily now, because, pulling weeds, okay, I get it. Like, I guess the weeds kill the grass, whatever. But like as an adult and knowing me, like, I'm just going to be real. Every 3 to 6 months, I purge, homie. I'm on my social media. I'm on Facebook. I block people I need to block. I cut ties. I have final conversations. Whatever needs to happen respectfully, in those moments, it just happens, because at the end of the day, you are the sum total of the closest people to you. Now, of course, I said 5, but then it does stretch to people that, maybe they'll communicate to you, or there's a person on Facebook that's always posting negative things. Yeah. I don't want to see that on my feed.
You want to preserve your energy.
Yeah. Right. So,
energy is contagious.
It is contagious. So it might not be a block. It might just be an unfriend on Facebook. Yeah. And so, I'm going to be real. Like, if you're
somebody's going to hit you up like,
like if you see this and you got blocked or unfriended, just know I'm protecting my energy, and I'm also protecting the energy of my Facebook family. So and I say that as respectfully and as compassionately as possible. I know some people are upset about that, but it just, in order to elevate, you have to separate.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I like that. I love that. I do the same thing. I call it audit. I audit my friends. I like that. I audit the people around me all the time. Every week I pick a day that I speak to 3 or 4 people, like have long conversations just to see where their head is at, because I believe like iron sharpens iron, right? Mm-hmm. If we in proximity, like what we doing to elevate, what we doing to like bring each other up, because I'm all about evolution and growing as a human being, bro. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yo, it's been an honor and a pleasure to be able to do this with you. This is going to be a documentation for the future. For the future. This is how I'm seeing it. The way you're painting with your words, in 5-10 years, you're gonna be able to go back to this like, wow, this is where I was at. This is where my headspace was at. This is the things that I have, the things that I've accomplished, and you're gonna see how far you have come. And I'm documenting everything as well.
Our kids are gonna play together, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. They're gonna play absolutely. Together. If you could see one thing changing on Cloud before we close out and plug your social media platforms, what would it be?
More murals.
Hey, talk about it. You're all over the place, bro.
And they don't got to be mine, bro. Shout out Teddy Sykes, bro. Okay. We need a Teddy ASAP. Whoever is in charge. Well, I mean, I'm part of the people that are in charge. I'm part of OMAG, but I'm talking about business owners. If you have a building, consider a mural, because at the end of the day, man, it transforms your space, man. And this is a shameless plug for murals. It ain't just me because I do murals. This is anybody. Again, if you're a business, a restaurant, and you have an available wall, especially outside, but then inside too. But if you have a business and you have an outside space, bro, you need a mural, bro, because you convert that space into a destination point for influencers.
Exactly.
And people go like St. Pete, man. I know we were kind of digressing, but I just got
no. Just
I just got to expound on this. Yeah. I went to St. Pete, right? So I had a homegirl. She took me. We went on a tour over in St. Pete. It was amazing. Now, when I tell you, 50 30 to 50 murals. Now, of course, in Ocala, how it's laid out, it's not going to be like that.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that. So I'm a realist. But in St. Pete, the way St. Pete is blocked out and how it is, bro, we went on a tour literally around like 2 blocks. We saw like 30 murals, right? And the thing is, though, it's about relationship. It's the relationship between the city, the business owner, the property owner, if they're not the same person, and the artist. So me, I've been, but I'm ready to advocate for that quad relationship, right? The city, the business owner, the property owner, the owner of the building, and the artist, because that's what it's gonna take, right? That's what it's gonna take and you see that heavily in Miami. Miami at this point with Art Basel, the Wynwood Walls. When you think about that, that is a heavily entrenched culture of relationship building between building owner and artist. That's why I absolutely love Miami. I won't move there because it's crazy and wild.
Yeah.
I love Miami. I love y'all. Yeah. But y'all wild. Y'all wild over there, boy. But the arts and culture is off the charts, bro, because they get it.
Yeah.
They understand that it's a relationship. It's a fluid, organic, never-ending conversation that you have between building owner, city, business owner, artist. That is a synergistic, fluid conversation that should never stop. And if anything else, that's what we need.
Yeah.
That's what we need here.
Absolutely. Again, bro, it's amazing to finally be able to sit with you, get to know your story, who you are. You're doing amazing things. You have the support of Deafine and, the other things that we have going on here. Yeah, absolutely. You gonna tell me how to do my job, sir? I'm trying to give him his flowers. Yes, sir. So where can people find you before we head out?
Man, you can
right here. Look right there.
Oh, you can find me at official Ness. That is official. N as in Nancy, EHS as in super, one word together. That's everything across the board. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I don't tweet, but you can hit me up there too.
Absolutely. What can people expect in the next 6 months to a year from Ness?
Oh man, 6 months from a year. Possibly see a couple galleries popping up, big things, and then I'll leave it there. That and then the social media presence is going to be a lot more vast, and I'm going to be able to offer a lot more opportunities. Just the growth of the mentorship program.
Yeah.
So I'll say that for now, but there's some things on the contract that I can't talk about.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
just say.
But you're making big moves,
It's
kid.
big, bro.
Yeah. Let's go.
We working out here.
Yes, sir. I love it, bro. I love it. Again, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
Whenever you need a platform to share any message, you have it right here at the Deafine Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. If you watched the whole entire episode, I love you. Let's keep it going. We out of here. Peace.
Woo. Emotional roller coaster, bro. You have me crying.